Book 275, The Magic Key, The Highway Hi-Fi. Biff, Chip and Kipper were dancing in the living room, while a record player played a cheerful tune. Floppy, the dog, chased his tail happily, but he accidentally bumped into the table. The record player let out a loud screech as the needle jumped. "I wish we could listen to our favourite records in the car without them skipping," said Chip, rubbing Floppy's ears. Suddenly, the magic key on the shelf began to glow with a bright, warm golden light. The light danced across the walls and filled the living room with a magic sparkle. Floppy barked and wagged his tail as a swirling vortex of colourful wind swept around them. The living room faded away, and they fell through a tunnel of light. The children landed with a soft thump on a sunny street in America. All around them, giant cars painted in bright pink, turquoise and yellow were driving past. The cars had enormous tailfins at the back and shiny chrome bumpers that glistened in the sun. A newspaper on the ground showed the year was 1956. They met a friendly man named Mr. Chrysler, who was polishing a beautiful, shiny new car. "Hello there," he said proudly, waving a cloth. "Would you like to see the most amazing feature of my new motor car?" The children trotted over eagerly, and Floppy sniffed the clean rubber tires. Mr. Chrysler opened the car door and pointed to the dashboard. Underneath the radio was a small metal slot that slid open to reveal a tiny built-in turntable. "This is the Highway Hi-Fi," he beamed. "It plays special records while we drive, so we never have to listen to static." Mr. Chrysler invited them inside for a drive to test it out. He carefully placed a small black record onto the turntable and pressed a button. A cheerful tune began to play clearly through the car's speakers. "This is fantastic," said Biff, tapping her feet to the rhythm. As the car rolled down the street, they turned onto a bumpy road. Suddenly, the car hit a small pothole. The car gave a little bounce, and the needle instantly jumped off the record with a loud screech. The music stopped and then started repeating the same note over and over. Mr. Chrysler frowned and tapped the dashboard, and the music started playing again. But a moment later, the car hit another tiny bump, and the record skipped again. Every single bump, crack and pothole on the road made the music screech and jump. Mr. Chrysler was getting very frustrated. Chip wanted to help, so he reached into his pocket and pulled out his modern smartphone. He tapped the screen to play his favorite digital song. "Look at this," said Chip, holding up the thin glass device. "It plays music with no needle, and it never skips, even on a bumpy ride." Mr. Chrysler stared at the tiny glowing rectangle in Chip's hand. He could hear clear music playing, but there was no record spinning at all. His eyes went wide with shock and fear. "What is this strange magic box?" he gasped. "You must be corporate spies trying to steal my secrets." Mr. Chrysler quickly pulled the car over next to a police officer standing on the pavement. "Help, officer!" he shouted, pointing at the children. "These strange kids have a secret, magical talking device in their pocket." The police officer frowned and marched towards the car, pulling out a notepad. "Oh dear," cried Kipper. The children and Floppy scrambled out of the car and ran down the pavement as fast as they could. The police officer blew his whistle loudly and chased after them. "Stop, suspicious children," he yelled, his heavy boots thudding behind them. They ran around a corner and hid behind a large advertising billboard. They could hear the officer's heavy footsteps getting closer and closer. Just as the officer rounded the corner, the magic key in Chip's pocket began to glow with a brilliant green light. The magical vortex wrapped around them, and the retro street vanished. They landed with a soft bump back on their living room carpet. The old record player was still spinning quietly. Chip put his phone away, deciding that modern music players were much better for bumpy car rides.